All right, what up, YouTube? This is Chris from the Chris Cross Show. This is another episode, um, and I originally was going to do my episode on um, my favorite pair of shoes of all time, a little bit more sports talk, Super Bowl predictions, but um, I was planning on doing this episode around this time. Um, and I heard about the passing of one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Kobe Bryant, and I just wanted to dedicate an episode of like my favorite memories of Kobe. So I really hope you guys enjoy this episode, and this is kind of like a tribute. This is a tribute video for Kobe. All right. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that Kobe was my favorite player of all time because we all know who my favorite player is. But Kobe was a player that I really liked when I first started watching in 2009. Um, the whole Kobe, Lakers, Paul Gasol, everything was going on, and I remember it was the Christmas game. It was at Staples Center, Cavs versus Lakers. Me and my brother literally watched it because of Kobe. Um, like we saw it said Lakers and Cavs, and we are like, oh, Kobe's playing that game. Yes, that's the game where I kind of discovered my favorite player, but we watched because of Kobe. We were paying attention to number 24. We were like, oh my gosh, he's so great, and that's he's one of the reasons why I began to like basketball. And you can see my Lakers hat, but um, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Kobe was like is my all-time favorite player. He's easily one of my top 10 favorite players ever. But it's sad, especially an icon like that um, that dies so suddenly, especially being 41 years old. Um, he's younger than my parents, so I know a lot of people, from this generation don't really know much about Kobe other than, he's got 5 championships and, played with the Lakers forever. But, one of my favorite, I'll give you guys my favorite memories of Kobe, but one of my favorite memories for sure is not him playing basketball, but in high school or in middle school when you would shoot a shot into the trash can, you would always yell Kobe. You would always go Kobe and shoot it. And you yell Kobe until you make it, or if you make it on the first try. So that was a big thing I remember in high school and middle school, where if you shot like a paper into the trash can, you had to say Kobe. Like it wasn't solidified until you said Kobe. So yeah, those are one of the reasons why growing up, everyone was in love with Kobe. So Kobe to us, to people my age, is like how Steph Curry or Kevin Durant is to this generation. He's an icon. Um, so yeah, I'll give you a couple of more memories, and I'll start off with that. All right, so like I talked about my first like real ever basketball game was in 2009 Christmas Day. Kobe versus LeBron. Obviously, me and my brother were just flipping through channels on Christmas. It was like a weird Christmas. Like it was like nighttime. For Hispanics, Christmas is usually December 24th. December 25th is just kind of relax and do whatever, do anything. So, me and my brother were kind of bored in 2009, and we flipped through channels, and we saw a basketball game. We're all like, oh, it's the Lakers, Kobe. Because that's the only player. If you didn't know basketball back then, there's only one player you knew, and that was Kobe Bryant. So, obviously, me and my brother started watching, the Lakers. And we were like watching for Kobe. Obviously, if you know my background story about my favorite player, that's the game where I liked LeBron. But to Kobe, we watched it because of Kobe. We're like, oh my gosh, look at Kobe! Oh my gosh, look at that fadeaway. So we basically liked basketball first initially because of Kobe. So that was definitely one of my favorite games. Probably the first official game that I watched whole. Um, that I thought was super duper cool. Um, so yeah. Another favorite memory of mine was in the 2012 Olympics. Though I watched those Olympics as much as I could because it was in London, so it was friendly for time here in Illinois. Um, I I remember watching a couple games of the 2012 team. The 2012 team was amazing. I mean, you had Kobe, you had LeBron, you had Carmelo, you had Dwayne Wade, you had Chris Paul, Tyson Chandler, Anthony Davis, and that team just whooped everyone. So I just remember seeing number 10, Kobe, in 2012 when he was still pretty good. Watching him put up a couple points. Can't really say many memorable games from there, but I remember his game against Argentina. I just remember the championship game, and yeah, I can't really say much about that. But that's definitely one of my most favorite memories of Kobe. The second one is when he tore his Achilles and still made the free throws. That was probably one of the best games when he tore his Achilles in I think 2013, right before they made that playoff, or when they were trying to get into the playoffs. I think that was the year they lost to the Spurs in the first round. But yeah, I remember they were making a playoff push. It was him, Dwight, Steve Nash, um, and that was the big three. They were trying to just make the playoffs that year. And I like that. I like that memory because Kobe tore his Achilles, um, and you know he synced both free throws and then left the game, and it just showed how strong he was as a basketball player. I mean, tearing your Achilles and then still making two free throws, that's got to be power to the next level in basketball. I know if I tore my Achilles, I'd want to go straight to the hospital and get that fixed out. I wouldn't want to just sink two free throws in like that. So it just showed how strong he was. And I know a lot of people use Kobe as a mental toughness type of thing. Oh, if you don't have Kobe's mentality, you're not really strong because you're weak. So that moment or that game in general showed the basketball world how tough Kobe is mentally and physically. Another favorite memory. This one's kind of funny one. When Kobe calls Dwight Howard soft. I liked that memory because it just showed how tough Kobe is. It showed that Kobe doesn't back down. When Kobe calls Dwight soft, I thought it was hilarious. I know everyone started calling everyone soft after that. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're soft," or Kobe started that trend of the soft thing. So a lot of people started saying "Oh, you're soft," or "Oh, stop being soft," after kind of Kobe said it out loud to Dwight. At least that's my recollection of it. I didn't really hear many people say soft before that happened, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Kobe said soft," and so yeah, that's one of my favorite memories is when Kobe called Dwight soft because the implication he left LA, didn't want to resign, or whatever. So yeah, I just remember that memory because it started like a trend, especially in college, and people would say "Oh, soft" or "soft" or "Oh, he's soft," So Kobe started, in my opinion, I think Kobe started that soft trend. So that's one of my favorite memories. My um, other favorite memory was the 2016 All-Star game because I think Kobe received the most votes. That was Kobe's last year. That was the year, like, Kobe was just done with basketball. I think he was the leading vote getter for the All-Star game. And in that iconic picture that everyone talks about how Drake ruined it, where Kobe and LeBron facing a one-on-one matchup during the game. It was iconic. And I really, really liked it, that All-Star game. It was fun. I think the West one, and I remember Steph Curry hitting like a half court out of nowhere. So, yeah, that was one of my favorite games, for sure. And I can't really say much about that. I don't remember the game specifically, but I just remember that All-Star game. It was Kobe's last All-Star game. It was fun. It was memorable. And yeah. All right, so my last favorite memory, the one, at least ones that I remember, was Kobe's farewell game. I remember they played that on ESPN2. I remember me and my brother watched that game. Kobe versus the Utah Jazz scored 60 points. His farewell game was really, really great. His last two shots, I think, were free throws. It was just an iconic game for a legend. And yeah, I remember just the basketball world was watching that game. He scored 60 points in his farewell game. A lot of famous players like to go out with, like, maybe 10, 15 points, a nice W, a nice tribute video. But Kobe went out the only way he knows, and that was by scoring. And scored 60 points in his farewell game, and got the Lakers a W, basically defeated the Jazz all by himself, which was beyond crazy. So yeah, that was probably my favorite memory of all time with Kobe, because that's probably the most one I remembered. I know, I didn't really watch much Laker games before. I just remember catching a couple games because, from 2013 all the way to 2016, Kobe was in and out. There wasn't really much excitement with the Lakers. They were just kind of like a team that was there just after he injured himself in 2013. So I really don't have much recollection of that. But I just remember, just his farewell game was really, really amazing because he scored 60 points. And it was great to kind of see. All right, so just a couple things about Kobe. He's a five-time champion, one-time NBA MVP, two-time Finals MVP, couple scoring. I'm confident he won a scoring title, and fourth in all-time scoring. Just one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. I know there's a ton of memes about Kobe, always wanting to take the last shot. And just to kind of sum it up, Kobe was a champion. He's all about winning. I mean, that's I feel like he's one of the people that pioneered that. That's just about winning. Just counting the rings on your finger. Winning. And that's all that mattered to him. Winning. Super competitive guy. Everyone loved the Mamba mentality because he was all just about winning. And, taught us a lot, to be honest with you. It's all about winning. And yeah, I mean, that's just who Kobe was, a winner. And I can't sum it up anymore. I mean, a winner. I just wanted to dedicate this episode of Crisscross to Kobe Bryant, because he's an icon. He's a legend. He was always studying the game. He was a great basketball player, a great role model. I know he inspired a lot of the basketball players in this generation. I know when everyone says like, "Who's your favorite basketball player growing up?" Everyone says Kobe. Um, and I just wanted to dedicate this episode because he was an inspiration to me too. My fadeaways were inspired because of him. I mean, even though I'm not great at fadeaways, my fadeaways were inspired because of him. Um, always wanted to take the last shot. Was definitely inspired by him. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say. I mean, I, I wish Kobe's career didn't end with just a bunch of injuries his last 3 years. I wish he would have gone out with a little bit more excitement, but that's just how it goes. And he gave his whole life to the game, coming straight out of high school, winning 5 championships, scoring a lot, scoring 81 points in a game, probably being arguably one of the greatest Lakers of all time. Another favorite memory of mine is him learning different languages just to talk trash to the opposing players. Like he learned French for Tony Parker, he learned Slovenian to talk smack to Luka Doncic on the sidelines, and it's just amazing. Like that's what Mamba mentality is all about. Is just being different, doing everything it takes to win. Another, just a lot. And I was actually driving. Me and my family were going bowling, and when I heard about the news, I was driving, and then my brother said, "Yo, Kobe died," and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. The entire car ride, I really couldn't think. Just because, I mean, what he meant to the game of basketball and what he meant to me. And I'm still in shock. Like, it's still shocking to me that, Kobe passed away. And it's sad. It's sad. It's extremely sad. And I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I don't have a pair of Kobe's, but I definitely will invest in a Kobe jersey or some Kobe's. But I really don't know how to describe it. One of the greatest basketball players to ever play. Easily top 2 shooting guards of all time. Easily, arguably, one of the greatest Lakers of all time. A natural born scorer, natural born killer in the game. And just a great person in general. I know Kobe seemed like a really, really low maintenance guy. And that's one of the things I really liked about him, was how low maintenance he was. Because I used to hear he used to fly to Laker games. He lived in Orange County. He didn't live in the city. He didn't live where everyone wanted to live. When you play for LA or you live in LA, he was different. And you always want to strive to be different. And Kobe brought that out in a lot of people. And I love what the NBA did, taking that 8-second violation, 24-second violation, in tributes to him. Just because it's weird. I mean, a legend, a basketball legend, easily top 10 basketball player of all time. Gone. And it's sad to really, really think about that in that way. But, it's sad. And I'm sad about that. It's going to be different. What Kobe did for 20 years for the Lakers and what he did on and off the court was just amazing, in my opinion. So, I'm going to end this episode of Crisscross saying, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. And Mamba out. So I understand there were other people involved in the crash, and I did not mention them in this video, or in the video, the Kobe Bryant tribute video. I know that there was another coach there. Um, his wife and his daughter were both involved in the crash, as well as Kobe's daughter. So I just want to say or send my condolences to them and their families. Um, it's tragic news. Um, I know it's 9 people in total, I think, in the crash, and so I don't want to leave anybody out. Um, and yeah.